So once I'd downloaded the Second Life application, an icon appeared on my desktop, which I clicked on, and here we are now on the Second Life startup screen. So the first thing I'm going to do is type in my avatar's first and last names and the password that I set up, and I'm going to log in. It's going to take a few seconds to log me in. So, Gatto Cyberstar is about to land on Second Life. Here she is. There she is. A cloud of smoke waiting to arrive. It takes a few seconds for things to render around me, but I shall appear in all my glory. There we go. And it appears that we're in a very nice quiet area where there are lots of tutorials, some red arrows on the floor for me to follow. So using my arrow keys, up, down, left and right, as it says on the floor here, I'm just going to steer around and do a whistle-stop tour of Steampunk Caledon's Start Centre. This is nice, it's so quiet here. When I first used Second Life, I landed in Orientation Island with hundreds of other brand new avatars, and it was like Asda on a Saturday afternoon. This is much more relaxed. So we have some very nice tutorial stands here, which are displaying instructions, saying that I've got to use the arrow keys to walk backwards and forwards, that I can use shift, left and right to sidestep, showing me how to run, how to fly by using the page up and the page down keys, and here introducing me to the pie menu. The pie menu is very familiar to people who play Trivial Pursuit. I right click on something like a chair. It then gives me a list of options in a pie. One of my options here is to sit here, so I left click on that, and lo and behold, I sit in this rather nice sofa. Can have a good look at what Gatto Cyberstar looks like. There we go. And when I no longer want to sit down, I can stand up by clicking on this little button at the bottom of the screen. And I shall carry on walking past these tutorial cards, but I would urge you to read them, practice using them. A lot of people whiz through these, start whizzing around Second Life, and then start feeling a little bit lost because they're not sure how to control anything. It makes sense in the long run, whoa, walking through sludge, to work through these, and they only take a minute or so each. So that's showing you about how to use camera controls to change the way you see things, how to communicate through this room here. Very briefly, you can text one another by typing into the local chat bar at the bottom of the screen, and what you say will either appear at the bottom of the screen here, or depending on the way you've set your preferences up, in a speech bubble above your head. You can also have private conversations by instant messaging one another, because you'll end up with friends, very much like you do on social networking sites like Facebook. All of these tutorials here will tell you about things like that. I am whizzing through purely because I don't want to spend hours going through all these tutorials. I'm loving these Dickensian steampunk experiments, which are very much in keeping with the whole steampunk feel of this area. Your inventory, your search window. We're going to look at searching in a minute, because we're going to go to Cornwall College Island. How to search for people, how to search for objects. Here we go. Please do make time to whiz through these and get yourself acquainted with the basics before you start your adventures in Second Life. Other tutorials done by Julia Dando and myself will look at how to change your appearance, how to change your clothes, how to tidy things up in your inventory. But for now, these are just the basics, and all of those things can be found in this walk around tutorial. How to customize your avatar, endless variety of avatars, brilliant. All of those creatures there are avatars, and I do remember talking to a dragon once in Second Life, which was quite bizarre because he was about 50 times my size. Changing clothes. Free avatars limited to new residents 30 days and younger. So it might be worth checking this area out if you are new. I'm rather liking these. So there we have a few default avatars that you can have. Should you feel like being a tiny rabbit or a steampunk robot rather than a human being shaped avatar, let's go to Cornwall College Island now before I get carried away. I'm going to click on search at the bottom of the screen here, and very much like using Google or any other search engine, I'm just going to type what I'm looking for into this find box. Up here, press the enter key. It will find anything related to Cornwall College. Here's Cornwall College Island, which I'm just going to click on. There it is in all its glory. So if I click onto the teleport button here, we should arrive at Cornwall College Island. It's quite early in the morning, so I would very much doubt that anyone else will be around at the moment. But here we are. The scenery around me will take a little bit of time to render, to pop up around me. Second Life has millions of users, and there could be thousands and thousands using Second Life even as we speak, which means that the servers have got quite a job in San Francisco keeping everything working, but they're doing a really good job. Things can take a couple of seconds to render, as you can see, but in the great scheme of Second Life, that's not really an issue. Everything else tends to work pretty smoothly. So I've used the page up key here to do a very quick whistle-top tour of the island. Just fly over the Duchy farm here. I'm heading for the pub. So real life and Second Life, very much the same. This is the pub here. So I'm going to see if I can do a really good landing. That wasn't too bad. I didn't fall into the ocean there or into the harbour or anything. I'm going to right click on this door, and then I'm going to left click on where it says touch to open the door, and here I am in the pub, about to have a very well deserved pint of scrumpy. So there you go. Cheers!